Hey everyone, I'm Milky and I'm here to show you an installation guide for Third Age Total War, hopefully MOS, and definitely Divide and Conquer. Because I'm playing this campaign next, I thought it would be a really good idea just to show you how I install it, as well as I'm doing a disk and hopefully, I should say, a Steam installation, which should help both of you guys. So to begin with, to play Third Age Total War, you need two games. You'll need Third Age, Medieval 2 Total War, sorry, and you'll need the expansion pack Kingdoms for it. Now, you need both of those games on the same format, and what that means is you need Medieval 2 Total War and Kingdoms either on disc or on Steam. You cannot mix and match. You can't have one on Steam and one on disc. You need both of them on the same format. Once you have both of them, you're good to go. And if you're referring to where to buy them, on Steam they sell it once in a while. It goes for really cheap in the sales, and if you want the discs, you can get them for really cheap all the time on Amazon, so give that a go if you need to. So once you have that, the first thing that you need to do is install Medieval 2 Total War and Kingdoms. For Steam, that's really easy. All you need to do is install it from Steam. Just click on it, install, and it should go perfectly. All the patches are installed perfectly with Steam, as in they all come together. You don't have to download anything extra or do anything, which is fine, and it's a flawless installation. For disk users, there was a hell of a problem, especially for me, in installing Medieval 2 Total War, and it's to do with the directory system in which it actually saves the data and installs. So what I did was, when you're installing Medieval 2 Total War, I'm not going to reinstall mine because I don't want to do that, it takes forever. You'll come up with, at one point, a stage where you want to actually save the game, where you want to put it. What it will look like is it will look like computer, local disk C, program files 86, and then it will go Sega and Medieval 2 Total War. What I want you guys to do is just take out that Sega bit, and of course the exclamation mark thing there. So you want to take that out so it's just Medieval 2 Total War, no Sega. And once you install that, Medieval 2 Total War will install fine. See, if you didn't do that, when you install Kingdoms, it installs a patch, which is 1.3, I believe, and during that patch, it will just fail if it's renamed Sega. This will not always happen, but it happens a lot of the times. So to make sure that it doesn't happen to you, rename and just make sure it just says Medieval 2 Total War and not Sega Medieval 2 Total War. Once you do that, when you install Kingdoms, it should install fine. And what I did was I left it there. You could actually install another patch on top of that. I chose not to because it would have run into a lot of issues. So I stopped there. As you can see, this is my Medieval 2 Total War folder, which is fine and dandy. The next thing you need to do is, and especially if you've been playing on Medieval 2 Total War before, you need to delete the virtual store for the existing content already. So one of the links that I'll give you is the installation guide for everything. So if you've got anything wrong, you just go to this guide here. It will tell you how to install the whole thing. Basically what I'm telling you, apart from they kind of like show you with pictures instead of me showing you in a video. So the first thing you need to do, and it says right here, is you need to delete the virtual store. So what it's trying to say for you to do here is to go to your Medieval 2 Total Wars folder. You want to right click, you want to hit properties, and you want to hit security. Now you want to go to where your users are and hit the edit button. What you want to do is you want to make sure that all the permissions for the users are allowed. So basically you can write, modify, and full control. Once that's done, just click OK and you should be good. If you've got any problems with it, right click. Make sure you are the administrator because only the administrator can do so, and you should be fine. If you do have any problems, please revert back to this installation guide and it will tell you exactly what to do. The next thing they want you to do is to unhide your folders. So what you need to do is you need to press start, you need to type in folder options, click the top one there, it says folder options, hit the view button, and sort of in the middle it will say hidden folders, hidden files and folders. You basically want to click show hidden files, folders and drives. So once you've clicked that, hit OK and you're good. The next thing you want to do is, I'm going to refer to it here because I'm not even too sure myself at times, is to actually delete the local content, or virtual store I think it's called, sorry. So here we go. App data, local, virtual store. So note the file path is for Windows 7 users. I think Windows 8 users have the same file path. So basically you want to go to computers, you want to go to your user, so local disk C, users, my name of course, app data, which is a hidden folder. You want to click local, virtual store, which should be down here, which is right there, and then program files 86, and then you've got the creative assembly. So as you can see there, delete Medieval 2 Total War found there. So there's nothing here right now. I'm just going to delete the creative assembly just in case. So if you do have a Medieval 2 folder here, just delete it. If you don't have anything there, then you're fine actually. But make sure you do this instead of trying to install it straight away in case you have any problems. And this is for both Steam and disk users. So once you have that done, you're good, and we're now ready to install 30 Days Total War. So what you want to do first is check out the first link I've given you here. It's from ModDB, and it's the link for 30 Days Total War. Now on here, this will give you all the download links to 30 Days Total War, which is part 1 and part 2, then the patch 3.1 and patch 3.2. That's where Total War is at the moment in terms of just the basic vanilla third age. It's a 3.2 patch, which is fine. It's not that big. So what I want you to do is I want you to download each of these files. I'll probably pause the video here, so you pause the video, go and download these files, and then come back. So once you've done that, you will have, if you downloaded them to a specific folder or in your downloads, you will have the 30 Days Total War files. The first 4 files we need are at the bottom, and those are the ones you need here. Now what you'd want to do is you'd want to click 30 Days Total War part 1 of 2. I've got to install my 30 Days game anyway, so I'm going to install it with you, and hopefully it will install and not take forever, but sometimes you never know how computers work. They can take ages. So let's see here, in a second it should open up. And what you need to do for disk users is you need to change the location of where you're going to download it. So let's see if it works. Hopefully it won't take forever. I might have to pause the video so I can kind of cut bits here and there. Probably I will do that once I get to the end of this bit and it's installing 30 Days Total War. Why are you taking so long? The file does take a long time, I'm afraid. Right, so I'm just going to talk over quickly where Steam users would install it. When this comes up, here we go. No, what are you doing? I seem to have been bombarded with advertisements. So, there we go. So here it says, welcome to the 30 Days Total War 3.0 part 1 of 2 install program. So the next thing you want to do is hit next again, agree with whatever they're saying, and it will come up with a directory of where it's going to install. Right, this here is the basic installation guide if you have the disk and you've installed it with Sega. Now as you can see, if you are a disk user and you followed my steps, I completely took out Sega and installed it as just Medieval 2 Total War. If that's fine, go ahead and install it there. If you installed it on a different drive, you can easily find it clicking this button. If, however, you are installing on Steam, you need to change this slightly. Now, my Steam is on a different drive, so if it was on local disk C, which is the main drive for all computers, you would just go to local disk C and find Steam through there. However, with me, it's on a different drive, and I believe it is not that one, sorry, it is local disk F. So as you can see here, it's got some of my files, and down at the bottom you'll find Steam. So you want to go through Steam, you want to go to Steam Apps, that's it, Common, and then find your game, which will be here, and then click OK. Once you've done that, you can save the directory, and it will install to the third age file in your Medieval 2 Total War on your Steam, which is what you want to do. So I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to install 30 Days Total War. So as you can see here, it's installing, and I will pretty much cut the video here until it's all installed and I can talk through the rest of it. So I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. Just install your game and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so now that I've installed all 4 of them, I'm basically going to talk over what you should do next. So if you followed it through, every time you clicked on one of the installers, you change the directory by taking out the Sega if you were a disk user, and if you were on Steam, you would always change it to where the Medieval 2 folder is, as I showed you before. So once that's done, for disk users, I want you guys now to click on the icon you've been given, the Third Age Total War icon as you can see here. Give it a click and the game should run. For Steam users, don't do anything yet. I'm going to show you what you need to do now. So, if you are a Steam user, I'm going to go back to where my Steam was. So it was on disk F, it was in Steam, it was in Steam Apps, Common, and Medieval 2 Total War. Right. Here we are. In here, in the mod section, you should now see 5 folders, not 4, like what I'm seeing. You should see a campaign here called Third Age Total War. Now what I want you guys to do is to pick a campaign from here that you are not too fond of, or not going to be playing, or not too bothered about. And what I want you to do is I want you to rename it. So I want you to rename it something like Teutonic 1. And then what I want you to do is I want you to, so say I was to make a new folder, call it Third Age, it'll probably have an underscore on it. Say that's the folder where all your files are installed. You basically want to rename that and then call that Teutonic. Did I spell that right? Yes, I did. So basically you're replacing, this would be the original Teutonic campaign, and this would be Third Age Total War. And by doing that, I'm going to delete this now because I don't need it, and I'm going to rename this back to what it was before. By doing that, you're switching the campaigns around. So basically, on Steam and on disk, in fact, Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms runs on a launcher. And by doing that, all you need to do then is click on the icon, Third Age Total War, or click on Medieval 2 Total War's launcher, and it will come up with really annoying music. You hit play, you pick the campaign, and you basically pick the Teutonic campaign. Once you click that, it should run Third Age Total War, because you renamed the file Teutonic. So I hope that was easy enough for you. So Steam users, you can go and check that out now. Hopefully it will work. If it doesn't, please refer back to this guide before you make any sort of comments. Read through all of it. Read through the specific bits of which is getting at you, and it should help you. Right. Now that that's done, we have a basic installation for Third Age Total War. It should run fine, and it should run fine for the 3.2 patch. Now is the point where you can install the mod you want. There's 2 mods currently that are quite big. There's the MOS and the Divide and Conquer. Now for MOS, I'm going to show you just quickly what to do, but I'm not going to install that one because I'm not playing it right now. So back on here, I've got a link for MOS. Now, what I want you to do is once you get to this page, there is links to small installations here, or you can go to this download site, to the massive overhaul submod page, and you can download the full 1.5 full installation. I believe right now that the current version is version 1.61. So you download version 1.5, you download the 1.6 patch and the 1.61 patch. So once you've done that, the installation is exactly the same as Third Age Total War. You will have in your MOS section an installation. Now it will look different for you. You'll have the 1.5 full install and not 1.3. What you need to do is you need to install that over your Third Age Total War. So for example, if I was to install this, I would click on 1.3. Hopefully it won't take as long as it did last time. I think it will. I'm pretty sure it's to do with the size of the actual file and how it has to read it. And hopefully when that comes up, I can show you exactly where you need to overwrite it. For Steam, it's exactly the same as it was when you were installing Third Age Total War, the vanilla. You basically just choose the same place again. And then for disk users, it's exactly the same again. You go to where your disk is saved for Third Age Total War and you install on top of that. And it will basically install the new files into that page. I believe if you've renamed your file Teutonic for Steam users, you might want to save it into that file, because then it will save MOS into that. And what you can do is, if you're a bit worry about that. You could rename it back to Third Age Total War or whatever it was to begin with, and then install it. So here we go. Once I click yes, this will install a full version of MOS. Hit next again, I agree, hit next. Right, as you can see here, this is the basic directory for disk. So for example, mine was different. Mine was Sega and take that out. So that would be what I would need to install it. And if it was you, you might need a different disk. And if you're a Steam user, you'll need to find your folder through going through here. As you can see, it says Third Age 3. You would either install it into your Teutonic folder or whatever campaign you named it, or you could have renamed it back to Third Age 3, install it in there, and then call it whatever campaign you want to. So that's what you need to do to install MOS, and the patches exactly the same. It's all through an installer. It's really simple. So now that I've done that, I can exit it, and we can just not install it because I'm not installing MOS. And finally, the last installation is Divide and Conquer. Now this one I will be installing because I'm playing it. So Divide and Conquer, it's going to link you back to ModDB, and you're going to have to go down here and it will show you some lovely images of the new units, and then it will come to this page here. Now what I want you guys to do is to download the full public beta, which was published on the December the 7th, 2013. Depending on what date you're watching this, this could change. It could come out as a full version, there could be new patches, so it's all about keeping with the times. You can tell by looking at the dates on the right hand side. So I'm going to download the full public beta and patch 1.2. As you can see here, patch 1.1 is obsolete. You don't need to use it. I'm not downloading the hotfix for patch 1.2 because there are a lot of issues with it from what I've seen. So once you've done that, you'll have two files that look like this. So the first thing you need to do is install Divide and Conquer full public beta. Now it's really simple again. All you need to do is, just like MOS, find where your installation of the game is and install it there. So for Steam, it's back all the way again, Steam apps, Common, Medieval 2 Total War, mods, and then Third Age 3 or Teutonic, for example, if you renamed it that. Basically you just install it there, and that's for both Divide and Conquer full public beta and for the patch. So it's really simple and it's really easy to install. Thankfully they all have installers, which makes it incredibly easy. When installing mods, I would recommend you that you install say MOS on its own without another mod. So not like Divide and Conquer and MOS. I think you could run into huge problems there depending on how you do that. There is, on the installation guide, a way for you to install both at the same time, I believe, from what I've seen from the folders, as you can see here, but I'm not too sure. You could read through that and try and do it for yourself. If not, just stick to my method. It will definitely work. So hopefully that will open up soon so I can cancel it. I shouldn't have clicked on it really. Now you should have, there we go. Now you should have an installation of Third Age Total War and then either MOS or Divide and Conquer. The final thing for disk users, for Steam users, that's pretty much it. If you need any more help at all, visit that page again. If you still don't really understand it and want to see it for your eyes, there is another YouTuber. He's a really popular YouTuber by the name of Lionhearts. He made his own installation guide for MOS, and he uses Steam, so his installation guide focuses on Steam. So check that out if you're having a lot of problems. He'll most likely be able to help you there. But as I said before, please check this first before doing anything else. It will tell you what to do. Finally, for disk users, if you don't want to have the disk in your CD tray at all times, there is an exe. It's a no CD exe that will stop the fact of having to have a CD. So as you can see here, I've got a Kingdoms application here. You go online and you type in something like Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms no CD exe, and it will come up with a download link for something like this. Hopefully when I post this video, I will have uploaded my own application here, which I took from somewhere else, to maybe like a file share where you can download the application and stick it in. And it basically just makes it so much easier than having to have the CD with you all times. Basically, you would copy your Kingdoms file, as you can see there, to wherever your Medieval 2 Total Wars is put. So let's see, it'd be Medieval 2 Total War, and as you can see here, my Kingdoms application is already there. What I would do is, before you go in and copy that over, it will ask you to copy and replace. I would take the original, copy it and stick it somewhere in case you have any problems. So just make sure you back up the original somewhere safe. But apart from that, now you guys should have a full installation for both 30 Days Total War, MOS, or Divide and Conquer. With MOS, you get your own icon, so you can click on that and it will go straight to MOS. With Divide and Conquer, you just need to click the Third Age ring icon. It will take you straight into the game. It does replace the vanilla game completely, so be careful with that. If you want to play Third Age first without mods, go ahead and do so, and then install mods. But anyway, hope you guys that's helped you guys a lot. I know this installation guide was about 20 minutes long, but if it's helped you guys, remember to leave a comment. If you've got any problems, remember to give it a like, and I hope you guys enjoy the menu campaigns that are coming out. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and my apologies if anything goes wrong, but please refer to the guide. Anyway, thank you.